Hey everybody, Joshua Hatton here with Single Cask Nation. Just enjoying a little bit of our very own Wilderness Trail Rye here. That's our 4-year-old, which was released this summer. This is one that's been a real go-to for me this summer, mostly in, just as is, just neat, because that's the way I typically enjoy my whiskey. I mean, we are an independent bottler of single casks, bottling those casks at full cask strength, so we quite often like people to enjoy it the way that it was bottled. Having said that, I mean, this was a $60 bottle, not just for you, but for me. I actually buy our own stuff as well. And because of that, I'm trying to be a little less precious with it, and I'm trying to enjoy my summer a little more. So I'm enjoying it neat, but I'm also enjoying it in cocktails. And one of the cocktails that I've been enjoying this Wilderness Trail Rye in is just a Sazerac, a classic rye drink, the Sazerac, which is predominantly rye whiskey. It's a rye-focused drink. It has an absinthe wash, and then there's some bitters going on here as well. And I just want to go over how to make it. It's really a straightforward drink. It is incredibly refreshing, perfect for summer, perfect for end of summer going into fall too. And, here we are entering that territory. So why don't we go over it? So first and foremost, you're going to need a few things. Now, it's going to seem complicated at first, but the more you make it, the more you just sort of get into that rhythm of making it. So first thing you're going to need is a rocks glass, and I use my bass guitar rocks glass right there. That's going to be our drinking glass. You will need a mixing glass. You'll need a dumping glass, and I'll talk about that in a minute. A little bit of ice and a stirrer, and you're ready to go. This isn't even a shaken, a cocktail that you would shake. This is a cocktail that you would stir, so it really is pretty straightforward. You're not going to freeze your hand while shaking the cocktail shaker. Anyway, so what we start off with in the mixing glass, I don't know if you could see it, is just a little bit of water here, just about a half a teaspoon of water. And, they say to use a sugar cube, but we don't have sugar cubes in the house, so I just use a half a teaspoon of sugar and pop that in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to muddle it with our bitters. So the classic bitters that people would use is called, I think it's pronounced Pichard bitters, which, if I'm not mistaken, sometimes I am, but if I'm not mistaken, is owned by Sazerac. So it kind of makes sense that they will want to use their own bitters for the Sazerac cocktail, right? But I really enjoy an orange bitters, especially given that we're going to be garnishing this cocktail with a lime. And there's something quite nice about how lime and orange go together. That orange sort of helps to balance out some of the tartness and the delicate bitter qualities of the lemon. So we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 dashes of bitters into this. And we're just going to muddle it a bit. We just want to get it mixed. I mean, really, what are we doing? We're taking a little bit of simple syrup and adding some bitters to it, but there we go. All right, so while that is waiting there, what I want to do is I want to add some ice into this mixing glass. And, oh, there we go. Oh. All right, and we're just going to let that sit there for a little bit. And here's where the absinthe comes in. So, again, this is a rye-focused cocktail. This is really not about the absinthe, but similar to a martini, be it a vodka or gin martini, you wash that martini glass with dry vermouth. In this case, we're going to wash a rocks glass with absinthe. So how much you put in doesn't really matter so much. The key is just you want to get enough in there so that you can just coat the inside of the glass with the absinthe. If you're not familiar with absinthe, in and of itself, it's a high ABV drink. This one's about 70% alcohol. It's this anise forward, almost black licorice kind of flavor. If you don't like that flavor, that's okay. Again, this is a rye cocktail. That flavor will change once we mix everything together. And again, there really is barely any absinthe in here. We've coated the glass I should say, and now we're just dumping the rest into our dump glass, which now I can return this absinthe back into the bottle once I'm done. So we have the glass ready. We have our sugar, water, and bitters in here with some ice. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add 2.5 ounces of Single Cask Nation Wilderness Trail Rye, our 4-year-old, into that. Let's put that there. All right. And again, this is a stirred cocktail. It's not a shaken cocktail. I'm not sure if that would make James Bond happy or unhappy, being shaken or stirred, but I know what will make him happy is drinking this, because it really is a damn fine cocktail. So what's happening here? You've got this sort of, you have the spice from the Wilderness Trail, that earthy quality coming in. This is also slightly floral rye as well, so some of the flavors are a bit more delicate in here. There is a bit of oakiness to it, but it's not, you know, that super high oaky quality that you'd get in, say, a Sazerac rye. Which again is one of the reasons I like to go with this orange bitters. I think that combination of orange bitters with the lemon garnish, which we'll talk about in a minute, and then the slightly less oak, but slightly more increased earthiness and delicate floral quality, and then that spice, which is just a backbone through the rye, just really melts together quite nicely. All right, so it's mixed. Typically stir it for 15, 20, 30 seconds, however long. Oh, actually, one of the reasons that I like to use this, which is just a simple metal straw, is I get to taste it. So just do a little bit of that, and yeah, that's great. It's perfectly integrated. You get sort of that herbaceousness coming through. Actually, the herbaceousness is increased because of the bitters. That earthiness comes through quite nicely. And we're just going to strain the rye and bitters and sugar water into this. Doesn't need any ice, but here is where it gets fun. So we're not using the actual fruit of the lemon. That would be too sweet. It would add too much. This is just meant to add some delicate tartness to it. So we take some lemon peel and we just want to express it a little bit around the edges. So you're just going to like zest it, if you will. Get some of those nice oils from the peel to come out and just go right around the edges. Again, this is just meant to be subtle. And then what I've done is I've actually cut that peel sort of in half a little bit, just so we can have a nice little garnish to make it look sort of fancy schmancy. So you've got that lemon zest that comes out right at the front there. The rye is there with the oak, and then that sweetness from the absinthe comes through. Yeah, this is great. The rye is still there, nice and strong. It's not hidden. It's just simply complemented by those orange bitters, or the sweetness from the orange, but that sort of delicate bitter quality going on. The absinthe has changed. Again, that black licoricey kind of note is now just more like an herbal sweetness that adds to this. Hot damn, that's good. Enjoy a Sazerac cocktail. Use Single Cask Nation Wilderness Trail Rye. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Cheers, everybody.